Hey everyone, this is Rana, and I am here this week to talk about my how I was diagnosed with PMDD and the medical outlook on what's going on in the medical field with PMDD. I'm sorry I look a little down today or a little different, but today, if you haven't noticed, if you look at my other post on the PMDD project with YouTube, this will be my second week. My 2 weeks notice is what I call it. Next week my cycle will be on. But this is the week that I'm going through the mental stress. It's not fun. I've been pretty sad lately. I'm just kind of tired of it. But anyway, I wanted to start off with talking about the medical outlook on PMDD. And one of my biggest issues with the field, with being diagnosed with PMDD and it actually getting recognition, I was listening to the NAPS when I went on the internet and checked out, my radio interview I did with, what is it, NPR, and they basically, one of the women, it was, she was in the medical field, and she said, we don't want to fully diagnose premenstrual dysphoric disorder as a mental disorder, because if we do, there'll be times like mothers, single mothers who go into courts with the fathers and they won't be given custody of their child because they have PMDD, which is pretty understandable to me. See, I stood on the lines and I stood on the side of it being diagnosed as a mental disorder for a while now because I wanted that and I wanted some more awareness to it. But she was absolutely right. I mean, honestly, if I was to break up with my fiance today and we went to court, should he be able to have full custody of my child because I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder? Which is no, I think not. But I do think that if we bring more awareness to the, disorder, that we'll be able to, differ. There'll be someone in there who can say she's fully capable of taking care of her kids, but how about we do something like a joint custody where you get her 1 week and you get her this week, and if she's feeling like this week, then you need to get the child, or, that's why I think that awareness is one of the keys to PMDD, is because we can have 1,000 people be diagnosed, millions of people be diagnosed with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, but then, things that we're trying to do, we can't do. We can't get a normal job because we have it. We can't do this because we have it. We can't do that because we have it. And some of the light, I'm starting to understand why a lot of doctors don't want to do it. I'm starting to see two views on it. And I think that's where the awareness, needs to take place, is because we need to have a middle ground here with premenstrual dysphoric disorder. There needs to be a healthy medium, so that everyone can understand it and know that we're not psycho bitches. We have this thing where as though a week before our periods come, we get like this. I get the swelling in the eyes, and I get the nose swelling thing over here, and my boobs are humongous right now. They're pretty big all the time, but as of now, it's pretty hard for me. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, maybe if we do, get some type of awareness, maybe they can find a way to, have it so that if we do have to go to court for a child, that it's known the full symptoms of premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Because I know plenty of mothers who have schizophrenia and still have custody of their children. So we shouldn't be denied custody of our children because of a simple disorder that can be handled with medication and therapy. And she should be put on a strict therapy, regimen, whereas though they come into court every so many months, and the judge has to make sure she's going and taking care of herself, and she's, progressing, and she's able to be, a mother and not, taking off her square. Because even this morning, I realized I was a little snappy with my daughter today. Not more so as, cursing and yelling and things like that, but I was a little bit more, harder on her usually than I am. And a lot of that today is because I didn't feel like doing anything. I woke up with a serious backache, and my boobs were throbbing because they got so big. Like, it's hard because it's two sides of every story. And you have the people over here who are afraid to call out of work because their boss won't understand that they have premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And then you have the people, the science, the doctors who know the science behind it, and they say, listen, if we do give you guys this, how many girls are going to be screaming, I have PMDD, I can't go to work today. That's another thing about it, is it will be abused. One of my biggest things with how I was diagnosed was that I was diagnosed wrong in the beginning. I was diagnosed with PMS, which is completely not even close to what PMDD is. I was diagnosed with PMS because I told them the symptoms, and my doctor didn't look much into it. It was just, yeah, you got PMS, you got a pretty bad period, you'll be fine, move on with their life. Then I started meeting people in this group that I was in, and they had PMS too. And it was like, oh, we don't have the same thing. See, you're fine today. It was hard for me to walk. There's a big difference from this PMS and PMDD and how I was diagnosed when I was 15. I got my first period when I was 13. And I was diagnosed with it, with PMS, as if what I was saying wasn't enough to let the doctor know that it was not fucking PMS. It's like, come on, give me a break here. So around, I think it would be 18 or 19, and maybe 7. I think it was 18 or 19 when I was diagnosed with premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And right after that, I was diagnosed, and then right after that, I had my daughter. So I had gotten pregnant. And after I got knocked up, you don't have to worry about your period. So that was kind of left in the dark. I had my daughter, and I got this thing called the IUD. And it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me. The doctors tell you that there's no hormones involved or anything like that. But I was gaining 5 pounds a week, and it was hard to get it off. I could eat a piece of fucking anything, and I'd have 2 pounds on me. So, that was kind of tearing me up. And then, plus, when my cycle would come on with the IUD, it would literally put 10 pounds on me. And then when my cycle went off, I had to, I would lose 3 pounds of the bloat. And then I have to, worry about losing the extra 7 pounds. And it was just, I feel like if there was more awareness, she wouldn't have gave me that IUD, knowing that my periods were already bad and my flow was already heavy. She would have told me, well, we shouldn't give you the IUD. We won't give you the IUD because you already have heavy periods. And this is what I mean about, the medical field. They don't care sometimes. It's like they'll push something on you. And this is why I don't even take anxiety medication for my period, and for this situation I'm having now, because I can deal with it just kind of like this and leave video recordings on YouTube to vent. But instead, you want me to take an anxiety medication that's really not even going to work. To be honest, I took anxiety medication and I got more anxious. My heart was beating faster. It was like, what am I doing to myself? It's sick. It's sick because instead of trying to help, what the problem is, these doctors, they throw a pill on you. It's as if that's the problem. The problem is not the pill. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to cry to. I need someone to, to beg to. And you can pray to Jehovah all you want, or God, or Allah. You can do what you want, but that just doesn't stop it. When my cycle comes on next week, I'm scared to death. I cried almost 30 times today, but it's morning time, and I cried because I'm scared to death when my cycle comes on, that the pain I'm going to have to go through this week. And it's like, I know it's here, and I know it's coming, and I know it's going to be over soon. It's just getting through it. It's like walking through a rose bush. It's hard, and halfway through, you're not sure if you're going to make it. I question myself and wonder, am I going to die every single time my cycle comes on? I woke up yesterday morning I woke up, and I said to myself, and I felt it. I felt like this evil in me, like this presence of, like this whole other being inside of my body that wasn't me. It's not me. I woke up and I found myself trying to be me And on top of that, I'm already like in the worst mood ever. And my fiance was, I can tell you're in a bad mood. What is it? Such and such and such and such. He looks at the calendar. He like, oh. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, it's coming. And he looks at me like, it's going to be okay. And it's not okay. And I'm tired of everyone forgiving me and being so nice to me just because my period is on. It's like, why do we have to deal with this? And why can't a doctor just understand and just listen, I refuse to go into any more doctor's offices and cry to get them to understand that I have a disorder. I have a problem. And I'm tired of myself right now. I'm sick of me. I'm so sick of having to go through this every week. And I just hope that one day something can solve this shit because I'm so tired. I'm tired of crying, and I am. I'm just tired of everything. And I just hope that one day we get somewhere farther in the medical field to where as though we're not so judgmental if we go into a courtroom and lose our child because we have premenstrual fucking disorder. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I'm just, the medical field and how I was diagnosed it even all plays a part into why I'm this way now, because if I would have been getting worked on before all this shit happened, it would have happened. It would have happened. I would probably be okay by now, but no. I got to deal with this by myself. And every morning I get up, I have to take my daughter to school, or if I can't take her to school, I have to watch my daughter's dad take her to school, and he got to fumble around the house, because he's got to go to work. I got to go to work, and, you know what? Fuck PMDD. Fuck it.